So the next Patriots starting quarterback, it's going to be Maye. Jacoby Brissett benched. Maye will start Sunday for the Patriots at home against the Houston Texans. Maybe Drake Maye is awesome. It's possible. Possible he's great. Possible Gerard Mayo's great. Here's something I can guarantee to you, our listeners and viewers. The New England Patriots organization with Bill Belichick on, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. It makes zero sense to start Drake Maye now. If he's ready this week, why wasn't he ready last week? In a game where they lose to Miami 15-10, I want someone to tell me with a straight face that if Drake Maye starts that game for the Patriots, that they don't win the game. They almost won at the very end with Jacoby Brissett. Drake Maye is objectively better than Jacoby Brissett. Do you know who thinks so? The Patriots. Because Gerard Mayo said it, that in training camp and preseason, Drake Maye outplayed Jacoby Brissett. This is a team throwing bleep at the wall to see what sticks. They don't know Elliott Wolf, the Crafts. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Now, again, maybe Drake Maye is going to be so good that it doesn't matter. And it'd be like Brady and Belichick. And Mayo can be pretty good. He's not going to be Belichick. Maye won't be Brady, but maybe they're good enough that they'll make the Crafts look good. I have a feeling, though, that as the years go on here, that we are going to look at the last 20 years of the New England Patriots and say Tom Brady and Bill Belichick carried the Kraft family to 7 Super Bowl championships. It doesn't mean Drake Maye is going to be bad, but I'm just telling you, that organization has no idea what it's doing. I mean, the market hasn't moved off of this news that Drake Maye would start. We are still sitting with Houston in between 6.5 and 7. So it's -7, -105. Patriots +7, -15. So we're close to coming off of 7. And Houston being a 6.5-point road favorite. Total here is 38. So now that we know Drake Maye will be the quarterback for the Patriots, does this change the way you handicap New England and Houston this Sunday?
I wouldn't say that it changes it, just because we saw the tweets from Mike Reese, who covers the Patriots for ESPN, and other people in the Boston area sort of hinting that this was coming sooner rather than later yesterday. So I kind of thought about the game from the standpoint of Drake Maye being New England Patriots quarterback. And anything under a touchdown for me is a bet on Houston, even though Nico Collins is not going to play in the game. I still like Houston, anything under a touchdown. Now, at a touchdown, I probably just passed the game, but this is one of those games. What's interesting about it is that, like, the fact that Drake Maye is an unknown relatively compared to Jacoby Brissett and other quarterbacks, like, the high variance stuff is all in play. Like, this could be a blowout for Houston. New England could just win the game outright, just because we don't know what Drake Maye looks like now that he's going to get the full week of reps and he's actually going to play and have a regular season, game plan tailored around him. So the interesting thing to me is that the total actually went up a little bit. This was 37.5. Now it's 38. So we did see movement on the total in the market, but the side, that still stayed the same. My guess is this is where we're going to hang out. And if anything, we probably do go down to where that creates an opportunity for other people to come in and bet Houston at under a touchdown if they want to do that. But for me, it's Houston in this game. I think I'd need just a little bit more to back Drake Maye against a competent coaching staff. Like, say what you will about the Bobby Slovic stuff and all that, at least on the defensive side of it, like DeMeco Ryans, that staff, they seem to have the defense at least dialed in. Going up against a weak offensive line, Drake Maye's first start, I like Houston in this game just because the setup isn't the greatest for Drake Maye based on where that offensive line is kind of staying together.
I need to think a little bit more about what I want to do now with Drake Maye. Want to see where the market goes. I'm not looking to try to get ahead of anything in this game. I agree with you. I think it's likely. I don't know if it's likely. I don't think it ever goes up to 7.5. I think it's either 7 or 6.5, juiced one way or the other. I just want to throw like one idea as a way to potentially play this game at you, and I don't know if I'm going to. But I think it'll at least make sense when I say it out loud. So, if Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback for the Patriots, I think we have a pretty good idea of what the game looks like. If it's Drake Maye, and it's going to be Drake, it's going to be Maye, maybe he's awesome, and the Patriots win. I think they win more often with Drake Maye starting. They win the game more often with Maye than with Brissett. I also think they get blown out. Like, blown out. Like, I'm talking, like, 5-month-old, like, infant, like, through his or her, like, clothes blowout. Trust
Speaking
me,
from experience.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, just as an aside, I think that calling that, when that happens, a blowout, is one of the funniest things. Like when your child, like poops through his or her clothes and it's everywhere, the fact that it's called a blowout. Like, I think I want Funkmaster Flex to come out with like a sound effect, blowout, like when it happens.
Tell Flex to run it back and drop a bomb on it, you know?
Like, blowout, blowout. And always, it's funny, whenever a kid has a blowout, he or she always has the most satisfied look, a bleep-eating grin on his or her face. Very interesting enough with the blowout. So that type of blowout.
Clear the system.
Would you consider, Femi, if you like the Patriots a little in the game, would you ever just play them to win? And if you like the Texans, would you ever play them at alts? Like big alts, minus 13.5, minus 16.5, etc.
I think it's something that you should definitely consider. And the way I would play it if I like New England, I would do both +7 and money line. Just because, like, there's still the scenario where C.J. Stroud maybe leads the Texans down the field and rips your heart out, and Houston wins by, like, 2 or 3 with a game-winning kick. Like, there's still that scenario, and I think you would want to get something out of Drake Maye, making this a really competitive game. But on the other side, like, if it doesn't get to under a touchdown, and you say, I want to bet Houston, but I don't want to lay 7, I think that is something that you should consider laying 16.5 or, like, 14.5, some of those bigger prices at plus money, because I agree. Drake Maye can go out there and turn the ball over 5 times. Like, that's something that could definitely happen, especially when he's playing behind that offensive line. Like, the big stuff is in play with this game, and I think everything's on the table. So I think alts should be considered. And if you like New England, definitely, like, if you like New England and you take the +7, I think you owe it to yourself to bet the money line as well, just because we don't know how good Drake Maye can be. That's something that we're all going to find out in real time altogether. I'll tell you what, the AFC East is still wide open. And crazier things have happened in the NFL. And I just would not put it past New England Patriots that if Drake Maye takes them to another level, that they could potentially win the AFC East. Because if you break it down, it's real simple. Like, we've been talking about this all hour. And Nick's about to going to talk about it coming up a little bit later to start his hour. But Robert Saleh, no longer the head coach of the Jets. The Jets clearly in flux. The Miami Dolphins. Did anybody look about what the hell they were doing on Sunday against the Patriots? Miami was begging to lose that game. They don't have a special teams unit. They're completely atrocious. Mike McDaniel just looks like he's just gazing into outer space when he's on the sidelines. Like, I don't know what's happening in Miami. So the Dolphins are also in flux. The Buffalo Bills have no passing game. In a 60-minute football game, Josh Allen went 9 of 30. The Bills offense, at least right now, not saying it can't improve, but at least right now, the Bills offense has been figured out. People have caught on to what they were doing in the first few weeks of the regular season. So I'm not saying to go out there and make a bet right now. I'm not advocating for the New England Patriots to win the division. I'm just talking this out in real time when I see this news that Drake Maye is now going to start. If Drake Maye is as good as some people believe he is, maybe this does raise the ceiling for the New England Patriots, and maybe, just maybe, they could be a team that goes from worst to first, because we see it every year. The Commanders look like they want to be that team this season. Could the Patriots perhaps join them, and what would that look like, and what would it mean for other markets? I think it's a really, really fascinating conversation. And you know me, like, my brain goes to the awards markets. I don't think Drake Maye can win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like, that ship has sailed. He's missed too many games. Like, 5 games that you were on the sideline for, you're just not going to win it. And also, Jaden Daniels might be the MVP of the league. So, like, I think Jaden Daniels, at least right now, has that on lock. But there are other award markets, like Coach of the Year or Gerard Mayo. The bar for him to clear, not that high for him to win the Coach of the Year award. Like, the Patriots won 3 games last year. If he goes and wins 9 or 10 games, which sounds absolutely far-fetched, I understand. But let's just kind of play it out with a quarterback like Drake Maye. A lot of people thought he was a big-time prospect. He was in Heisman discussions last year. If he elevates them and gives them much better play with the defense that they do have, because they actually do play really good defense, with that defense, maybe the New England Patriots can be kind of a surprise team as we head into the October and November months of this NFL football season. So just something to keep in mind, not something to go out there and run out and bet, but something to keep in mind with Drake Maye now as your starter at quarterback for the New England Patriots.